Hello and welcome to another Crypto Chart. I'm Fausto Botelho broadcasting here from Brazil, and today I'm going to show you why we have recommended Bitcoin. We're going to take a look in the S&P, which is in the all-time high, and I keep thinking that it will start to go down from there, and eventually this downward trend is going to turn into a crash with severe consequences to the crypto space. So let's actually, and then I'm going to be showing you the coins that we're keeping an eye, because they are giving signs that they might outperform Bitcoin. Shall we? So starting with, let's start with the S&P first of all, and see what goes on. Well, I've said many times here in the channel that I think this upward trend is already reversed, and what we've seen so far is a pullback to these former support trend line. But the market has just reached the all-time high. The chart I'm showing you is indexed by the CPI. So that's a chart in which we extract the inflation out of this chart. If we go to the nominal chart, we're going to see, it is raised much more than the indexed one, right? But we can see that the market has already broken to new highs, broken the last resistance, the all-time highest resistance, and it's been 3 days that it's done that. And look what happened. Well, if we're talking about the mother of all resistances here, whenever this level is broken, the market should have touched stop orders. This day here is the one that he made all-time high. See? It closed at 29.39. Well, the last higher close was on September 20. 29.30 against 29.39. So the market has broken this all-time high level. There should be stops here. The market should have rallied, but it didn't. Instead, the next day, which was day before yesterday, the market just gave us a shooting star, a indefinition candle. And then yesterday we have this candle that resembles a hanging man, and today what is going to happen? Here's the intraday chart. The market made a new top in the night, but it's falling, and we got to keep an eye on this trend line here, because if it's broken, and especially if this one here, well, I think it's more important, if this trend line is broken, then instead of rallying, the market is going to give us a bull trap. And if it gives us a bull trap, it will probably also be breaking the support line. If it breaks the support line, it will correct Fibonacci. Probably correct Fibonacci. We're going to be talking about a possibility for a drop of 8%, more or less. And if that happens, we're going to be thinking more clearly that this whole upward movement was just a pullback. And if that happens, then we can start thinking again that the trend was indeed reversed, and that the market is going to correct Fibonacci of all the trend that started right after the subprime crisis. And that, my friends, would mean a drop of almost 40%. A drop of 40% would put the world in a recession. The credit would disappear, and we could have severe consequences to the crypto world. I think it will be very good consequences, because eventually when a crash happens, there's the flight for quality. People fly away from risk and stock investments all over the world, from specifically from Brazil, for instance, which is a developing country, and they fly back to the US. But that's actually what used to happen, because Last crisis, 2008, the U.S. didn't have too many competitors. Now I would say he has some competitors. Like, for instance, China. China is a competitor. China has been, and I have read about, and I've had information about that. China is increasing its gold reserves. There's, that's just rumors, but that it could eventually turn the yuan into a backed by gold fiat currency. So that would be a competitor in the flight for quality. Eventually, some of the fleet that would, rise from all over the world, getting out of stocks, would eventually go to China. And also, there's this new class of assets, which is the cryptos, that didn't exist in 2008, right? So some of the money could come to cryptos. And if just one small little bit of this money in stocks come to cryptos, well, we're going to see a boom here to the moon, because New York Stock Exchange alone is $28 trillion. So 1% of that is $280 billion. Market cap of the cryptos is $170 billion. So you can imagine what would happen if small, tiny bit of the world is $80 trillion. 1% of the world's money in cryptos would mean $800 billion. So a lot of things could happen. And that's why I think we have to keep an eye. And I'll leave you with this possibility. If you have stocks, or if you have investments, if you're selling for instance, a house or a real estate, do it now, do it quick. If you have stocks, think about the possibility of just getting out. You'll be getting out of in the all-time high. Eventually it will go higher. And I'll tell you what, human beings are much more afraid of losing money than losing what they might win than losing what they already won. So if I'm right, eventually you have a very good problem, to know what you're going to do with your cash whenever the market falls some 40%, and that's just to correct the first Fibonacci level. If I'm wrong, market's going to go 5% up, it's going to flag up. Whenever it breaks the flag, you get in again, you're going to lose what? Less than 10%, and that's nothing compared to what you may lose if you stay in the market. So think about that. So now quickly, let's take a look at Bitcoin, and let me tell you why did we told our customers. Down below you see the link to buy our calls service. We send our calls by Instagram and WhatsApp, and also by our terminal. We have a terminal, this one I'm showing you here, and receiving in the terminal is better because you have a button, you receive pop-up, and then in this pop-up you have a button, you click this button and you produce the chart, the same one that we used to make the call. So you can see all the chart. In the chart there's a icon and mouse over, you're gonna know the why. Still in Portuguese, but it's coming to English very soon, hopefully. And also, please subscribe to the channel if you like our content, and tell your friends about us. We're reaching 20,000 subscribers. We're very happy and proud with that. And I thank you for sponsoring, not sponsoring, but supporting the channel with your views and likes. So why is it that we recommended Bitcoin? We've recommended, first of all, let me just come back here and go to the Bitcoin, Bitcoin weekly chart. And in the weekly chart, I just want to, I've said that already in the channel, but I want to say it again, that we have so far dismissed this first movement, because, nobody starts analyzing something that it's worth nothing. Bitcoin was worth nothing. So this first movement, I think we we can expel, we can delete these first movements. So I'm starting to think in Bitcoin, when it starts this first upward trend channel here at $2, right? Yeah, that's $2. Then it went to $1,000, and I think so. This was the first movement. So we would have to take this wave 3 out of here and take it here, and wave 5 we would take it out of here, and then we take wave 1 from here to here, and wave 2 from here to here, and wave. Let me grab wave 4 from here to here. So that's my counting in Elliott Wave terms. Wave 1, 2, 3, we've just ended wave 4. And you know what? Market is behaving beautifully because it broke this resistance trend level. It produced us a beautiful ABC, a downward, a descending triangle fits perfectly with a B wave of a correction movement. And so ABC, market reached the objective of the descending triangle, and then it broke the resistance trend line, and now it's just flagging up. So we're very bearish, we're very bullish. And where should the market go? Well, if we take only the projection of wave 5, of what I'm now calling wave 3, the big wave 3, which is this segment here, projecting this segment will take us to $63,000, $64,000, whatever. But if we project wave 3 and imagine that wave 5 could be equal of wave 3, oh yeah, I know. Elliott said that wave 3 should be the biggest one, right? But you know what? Elliott had 32 years of market data. I have 115 years of market data. You know, I'm in the market for 40 years. When Elliott was saying those things, there were no computers. He could, you know, it was very hard for him to do a log scale chart. So I think we have to adapt, right? And in my thinking, is wave 5 should most probably be the biggest one. Why? Because it's that one filled with all the euphoria that comes to the markets, right? So it's as simple as that. And so that's it. I think wave 5 here in Bitcoin could be even bigger than wave 3. So projecting wave 3, it's not being very optimistic at all, I would say. So, but if we do, we're going to project this magenta here, or whatever name of this color is, upwards, and that, my friends, would lead us to $348,000, one Bitcoin. So I'm very bullish, right? Being very bullish in Bitcoin. Then we go to the we go to the daily chart, right? Looking at this accumulation, it definitely reminds me of a continuation pattern. It's not a perfect ascending triangle, but I think it's very likely an ascending triangle. So to think better about that, we go to see it better, we go to the hourly chart, and then we see this resistance trend line being broken yesterday, and the market flagging up. Whenever it was telling us that this was a flag and it was breaking the flag, we then recommended our customers to buy Bitcoin. So we're long since here. Whenever we make a call, let me show you calls. Oh, why hasn't it got the icons? But I can go here to tools, and I can pick, sorry for the Portuguese, historical alerts and BTC, and then I put the chart here, and there we go. Now I have all the icons. Let's put it on the daily chart. Yeah, okay. So here's where we bought Bitcoin. I'm back in the because this was originally made in the hourly chart. This is the Y of the pass mouse over here. Call based on the intraday 1 hour chart, but considering that we understand that Bitcoin is in the upward trend, medium long term. So we've seen an upward flag after market has broken the resistance trend line of near term. The stop is below the second technical event in the intraday of 1 hour, and the objective is next important resistance, which is the stop here. When we take this to the daily chart, you see that it's sort of a ridiculous, almost ridiculous projection, right? But it doesn't mean that we're going to liquidate the position whenever the market reaches there. So that's why we're long in Bitcoin, and whenever the market goes up, we will keep on adjusting the stop. The stop's here now. Whenever it reaches this green line, which is the distance between the price we bought to the first stop, is the same distance. Whenever the market makes that in favor of the position, we put the stop in a situation that we don't lose anymore. And we keep on raising the stop, and if the market goes to the moon, we hope we're going to be following it right there, just behind him, reaching to the moon, right? So this is it, and now I'm going to show you the cryptos that we're taking an eye on, which are starting with BAT, a basic attention token. It broke this enormous rectangle, made a pullback, and now we think it's flagging up, so we're keeping an eye on the hourly chart to see whenever it's going to be a good time to recommend our customers to buy it. Bitcoin Cash made this double top and went down and reverted with a nice engulfing whenever it was reaching the support, quite important support level here. And so we're keeping an eye on that. We're hoping the market to flag up, and then whenever it breaks the flag, we're getting in or recommending. Binance coin, we think after this upward ascending triangle, we think it's in a rectangle that will continue the previous movement, a continuation pattern, right? And we're also keeping an eye in this upward trend line. And it seems to be holding in this upward trend line. I myself am long in Binance. I'm all in Binance, and my stop would be just below today's low because he's testing the line if it breaks the line. But we'll see about that at midnight Greenwich time, right? Which is the close of the market, right? Cardano. It made what I think can be called as a inverted head and shoulders, left head, right shoulder. It went to the objective that we can project from the inverted head and shoulders, and then it came back, and I think it might be doing a pullback to the former to the neckline. So a reversal here is considerable, and so we did have a engulfing. Now let's keep an eye on it to see if it's going to be flagging down or it's going to prove to be a reversal, and then eventually we will be recommending that. EOS is apparently in a rectangle, but we have to test whether this is going to be a downward flag or a different kind of reversal here. It's definitely looking like a downward flag, but we're keeping an eye on that. Litecoin, my friends, it broke this resistance trend line, and then it re-entered this resistance trend line, but it's now testing the support level here, former resistance line, now giving support to Litecoin. Let's wait and see what happens, right? It seems to be reversing here because we had this hammer here, and now we have this sort of morning star here. So let's hope that it flags up here and then breaks the flag, and then we enter in with stop below the flag, right? Raven Coin finally is another project that we're keeping an eye on because we like it in basis of its fundamental analysis. And it broke this resistance level, pulled back, and it's is that a reversal? That's what we keep an eye on. We're keeping an eye. And finally, Tezos, which is probably doing what we think is going to be a ascending triangle. So this is it. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you like it, don't forget to give us a thumbs up, comment. I'll be answering your comment. If you want to suggest any videos, please let us know. And I'll see you next time. Ciao.